Hello and welcome back to Rhun, and indeed we're going to go into the siege. Yes, we're going to go into the siege right here. Hopefully we're going to be okay. I have been experiencing a little bit of instability in the mod at the moment. I'm not sure why that is. I have removed super speed now, and I also updated because I'm not sure, maybe that's causing a bit of a problem, but I had to update the Bannerlord version of the game because that is what the modding team recommends. I was actually playing on 1.4.5 previously, and the reason why I was doing that is because 1.4.6 wasn't actually available yet on the drop-down menu. So I was like, oh, okay, well, what do I do now? You know, because I don't really want to have like some random update come in and then break the mod. So that's the reason why I was like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll just go with 1.4.5. And, well, it was working fine, you know. There were a couple of crashes here and there. But that is to be expected, you see. That is to be expected in certain situations with new developments. You know, you're always going to have some kind of instability potentially. Now, we are otherwise going to be completely fine here, hopefully. I don't have super speed, as I said, so I won't be able to speed this up and actually make this a little bit quicker for us. But that's okay, because I got the ladder up. That's kind of nice. And are they actually going to push it back? Yeah, they are actually going to push it back. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, no, we're fine. We've got strong legs. We don't really need to worry about that. But yeah, what I would highly recommend is if you are actually going to, you know, play this version of the mod, become a supporter, etc. If you're going to do all that, then I would highly recommend just going and being like, yeah, I'm just going to play on 1.4.6 straight away, because let's face it, I didn't do that, and maybe that's the reason why I'm having issues. I don't know. Ah, yes. There's one. Okay, so instead of me actually going into the siege manually, I'm just going to let the AI take care of it here, because there may be some kind of weird issue with a crash going on right now, because as I say, I have attempted multiple times to go into a battle with these guys right here. I actually wanted to fight them, and as you've seen in the series, we've been able to go into multiple battles and have no problems whatsoever. Ah, hello, wait a minute. They're actually going in? Okay, wait a second. What's actually going on here? Ah, alright, okay, fine. So, yeah, this is obviously a bit of a problem because they are now deciding to sally out a little bit with the militia and indeed the garrison. This is something that I don't really want to participate in, so what I will do instead is I will go and try to chase down some of the enemy dwarven vassals, and we'll see what we can do with them. Obviously, what I'm going to try to do is I'm just going to go for a nice little auto-resolve here. Generally, I don't really want to auto-resolve all the time, but this is kind of the only way that I can really avoid any potential crashes. As I say, I have no idea why it would be doing that. But as I say, it could very well be because of the 1.4.6, you know, 1.4.5, you know, sort of thing that I basically did at the very beginning of the playthrough. So it's probably just me being an idiot. Ah, hello, look at this. We actually have our very first look at the Chariots. Now, this is obviously something very much work in progress. I don't know whether we want to use this or not, because we're already suffering from quite a few crashes. I kind of want to, though. You know what? I'm gonna do it, despite the fact that I probably shouldn't. Okay, I'm warning you now. I probably shouldn't do it, but I'm gonna do it just because I think it might be really cool to actually see what's going on. So we'll see if I can maybe make that happen. I'm going to save just in case, because as I said, we want to make sure that we maintain our progress as best as we can. Now, we do have a lot of cavalry, of course, as well, so I am going to be able to catch up with a lot of these enemies really easily. Unfortunately, that guy did manage to get inside. Oh, hello there. Wow. They left this guy out in the cold. Did you see that? That was actually insane. All right, very nice. Yeah, let me take you prisoner. Thank you very much. And we can now look at this. Look at this. Every single one of these vassals has now just been released. That's absolutely hilarious. Okay, I certainly wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't. Okay, wait a second. I need to actually check. Okay, so these are tier 3s. Let's get rid of some of these tier 3s. Tier 3s. Anyone that's tier 3, I'm basically just going to get rid of right now. And obviously tier 2s. And then we're just going to go and sort by tier, and then we're just going to take the highest tier people that we can. That's usually that's the greatest, you know, that's the greatest strategy that I can really recommend to anyone, basically. If you're ever in a situation where you think to yourself, hey, you know what, I'm going to attack these guys, and then you're going to get a whole bunch of rescued prisoners. Yeah, have fun. Have fun just getting a massive amount of upgrades right there, because that is exactly what just happened. So yeah, great. We've got even stronger units now. Obviously, I could have gone a little bit further with that. I could have gotten rid of a bunch of tier 4s. You know, I could have easily gotten rid of a bunch of tier 4s right there. That probably would have made more sense, considering, you know, the mod does have some very, very high tier units available. Let me see. Can I actually... this guy's moving it. We might be able to catch him, actually. 4 points. Yeah, no, we can easily catch this guy. Yeah, no, we can easily catch this guy. There we go. That's absolutely perfect. Let's do it. Nice little bit of damage right there. And then we can get out of there. And we're basically just trying to maintain Rhun's... well, I say advantage, but they don't really have an advantage at the moment, do they? I mean, they are doing okay, don't get me wrong, they're doing absolutely fine, but you can see here the amount of auto-resolving that we can do, and actually just eliminating these fellas super easily is exactly what we want. We really want to make sure that they are kept on the down low, you know. We want to make sure that they're not having a particularly easy time of things here. We are disorganized, so it is going to take me a little bit longer to get into some of these battles, but that's okay. As you can see, yeah, very smooth. Very smooth auto-resolves that we're getting on here. Wow, look at this. Look at this insane armor. Look at this stuff. That's crazy good. Wow, okay. Yeah, I can imagine that would be... yeah, I mean, if you're playing as a dwarf, you're going to have a great time. Some of this armor is absolutely crazy good. Alright, so, yeah, this should be the last vassal, I think. Just going to take him prisoner as well. Obviously, the really cool thing at the moment is that we have to remember that we have... our keen sight, right? We have keen sight right here, and we also have I have no idea what the other thing is. Is it charm skill? No, it's not charm skill, that's for sure. It's leadership skill? No, it's not leadership skill. Okay, I don't remember what it is actually. The thing that basically reduces the chance for enemies to... I think it's riding skill actually. Yes, there it is. Yes, look at that. Look at how amazing that is. Minus 50% chance for that. Oh, and we actually have one additional free point spent. Actually, I didn't even realize this. Okay, so let's take a look. So what do we want? Troop wages, troop morale, troop morale, troop morale. Okay, well, I don't really care about any of that, so I will just take the troop wages. I think the troop wages are probably the way to go here. But yes, our career ability is actually extremely strong right now, so hopefully we'll be able to get an opportunity to use it a little bit later. And you can see here, technically I could go into the siege. I'd love to go into the siege by myself and actually do something here. So, shall we just cross the fingers and hope that it doesn't crash? I don't know whether it will. That's the problem, you see. 134. Should have a pretty easy time here, right? Yeah, should have a pretty easy time. Unfortunately, we don't really have anyone that does engineering. Yes, we don't have anyone that does engineering super badly, so... we're going to take an insane amount of time to get this stuff done. Let me just... I can't do that. Okay, yeah, no, this is going to take quite some time to fast forward here, but yeah, we'll see if maybe they might actually come in for a field battle. If they do come in for the field battle, then we'll take that as well. But I'm not a terribly big fan of that, to be honest. Alright, so we're in the siege. Let's see how it goes. I'm very much hoping that we're going to be able to have some fun here, because I've been hankering for some fighting for quite some time here, and I would love to be able to participate and maybe get a couple of kills with our wonderful polearm. Speaking of our wonderful polearm, apparently I made a mistake in one of the earlier episodes, and I actually did not create the polearm that we actually looked at creating beforehand. So I'm going to have to take a look at that and actually see what I did, and maybe we can get something a little bit better. Yes, I think that would be kind of fun. But that's obviously if we are managing to escape here. I'm going to get on top of this wall, and then we're just going to jump over here. Nice little bit of that. Yes, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I love getting these satisfying thrusts against the enemy in every single way. Oh, that is just so fun. All right, let's try and see if we can maybe make something happen here. My forces should have a pretty easy time. All we need to do is get by. That's all we need to do.
Kill them all!
Well, that seems to be a game over for the dwarven enemies that were defending this keep. And indeed, that was actually a lot easier than anticipated. I actually thought we were going to have some big problems there. You know, considering it could have crashed, you know, we could have had any kind of issue. But we are now able to rescue huge amounts of runic vassals here, which is exactly what we wanted to do, of course. And otherwise, we're just gonna, yes, massive amounts of level ups. Oh yeah, that's exactly what we want to see. All right, so apart from that, let's try and see what we can get here. Maybe we can get some really cool rune units to sort of, oh wait a minute, did I just take some Ereborians? No, it doesn't seem like it. Okay, at least I hope not. No, it doesn't seem like it. Okay. Yeah, so we just need to make sure that we don't take anyone else. And here we go. Let's try and see. There we go. And I think that's probably going to be all I can really take. Yeah, I don't really want to take any tier 3s if I can help it. All right, yeah, so we're just going to leave it at that. Because we're not going to be claiming this either, by the way. We're not going to be claiming the garrison or anything like that. And there we go. All right, yeah, so now let's actually just see. Let's see what happens. Because obviously, we're currently in the castle. Do we want to defend the castle? The problem... Okay, look, here's the thing. The problem with defending the castle is... I think we can win it, obviously. That's not really the problem. The problem is that it may crash and then end us in a infinite loop of them coming in and we're going to be unable to escape. That's the issue, you see. Because if we have a situation where we're defending and we get trapped in the siege itself, then we may have a problem. So I'm actually wondering what we can do right now. I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll try to restore ourselves a little bit here, and then we're going to just rush out, and we're going to try and see if we can auto-resolve against some of these guys. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's actually perfect. That is a pretty perfect thing for us to do here. Gonna take them prisoner. Yes, there we go. Rescuing more runic vassals. Absolutely perfect, actually. Hilariously enough, we are getting paid in any number of different ways from helping out by destroying just random groups of people. Just destroying these random groups of people really makes a huge difference, because all these guys have prisoners, mostly some prisoners at least, and even if they have a very small amount, it doesn't really matter, you know. We're basically just removing them from the board, and that's what we want. They have so many after all, right? They have so many vassals. So, yes. There we go. All right. So, that's fantastic. So, let's take a look at who is actually going to be the owner of this thing. So, this guy, I guess, he's kind of liked by everyone. So, I guess I will vote for him, and we'll just gain a huge amount of relation with him as well. I mean, how can I say no to a free relation? I mean, that's pretty decent. Technically, it's not really free, but we're not really using our influence for anything else, are we? Yes. Okay, so what do we have going on here? Why is this guy... What is he doing right now? Okay, this is kind of interesting. I'm not too sure why he decided to go in there like that, but yes, I will take him prisoner once again. Basically, I'm just... As I say, I'm just taking every single person that I can see prisoner and just making that work in a big way. Because if we can take every single one of these guys prisoner, they're going to have a very, very hard time recovering from any kind of siege. Any kind of siege, any kind of, you know, movement or action that they take. And you can see here we're having a great time. So, yeah, we still have this, obviously. And I'm actually wondering, do they have any other... I can't really tell which are enemy fiefs at the moment because of the new banners and stuff like that, but that's okay. Obviously, again, work in progress. So, yeah. Anyway, let's have a look here. So, no, we own this as well, hilariously enough. So, this is actually quite funny. Okay, so wait a second. What's actually going on here? So, where is the Frosthell Erebor itself? Frosthell? Where is that? I am... there. Oh, okay. Okay, that's... maybe that's not going to work out so well for us. I'm actually not entirely sure. Yeah, okay, well, let's see what we can do, because obviously I've got a huge amount of... Well, I have a huge amount of money in my inventory. I can probably sell that for a tidy sum. The question is, let me actually just save real quick. The question is if we are going to be able to... maybe we can find some rune armor. It would be quite nice if we could find some... there's Mr. Galik right over there. But yes, if we can find some rune armor, that would be kind of nice. Obviously, this is technically a dwarven town, so I highly doubt it. Yeah. So as you can see right here, we're just getting Erebor stuff, which is not exactly great, but you know, that's fine because we're just going to sell some stuff here. There we go, 48,000, not too bad. Now, what we're otherwise going to do is we're going to go to the tavern. Okay, that didn't really pay off as I thought it might because I was kind of hoping for a companion or something like that. But yes, not going to happen there. Okay, let's go into the smithy and actually see what we can do here because obviously, as you know, we've got some pretty crazy cool stuff. And we can maybe make an even better polearm than we had beforehand. And look at this. Look at how many of these swords I actually have now. And every single one of these is giving me 28 fine steel and 8 Thammaskeen steel. So, how can we say no? There you go. Absolutely wonderful. And as I said, I personally really like the way that the mod does smithing, just because it really makes it so that you... Yeah, sure, fine. You're still going to have to... You know, you're still going to have to deal with the stamina issues and so on and so forth, but the amount of resources that you get from some of these items is just extremely nice, because you're going to have the ability to still progress, you know, you're still going to be progressing in a normal fashion, but it's going to reward you so much more, and it's going to be so much more satisfying, and I personally feel like the player experience is so much better as a result of that. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. So, Golden Flower Spear Blade, isn't that the one that I wanted to... Isn't that the one I wanted to use? Isn't this the one I wanted to use? Did I not create this beforehand? I assume that I actually did not create this beforehand. So, yeah. So we're going to do this. And the question is 198 weapon reach. I prefer something with 170 if at all possible. So, I'm not sure if I can maybe make this work. Let me actually just see if I can find the matching. There it is. There's the matching one. Okay, this is actually pretty decent. The matching one's kind of nice because it's 186. Not a terribly big fan of 186. I could make it shorter slightly, but that doesn't really do much to anything else. Okay, what about 180? Let's go for 180. 180 is a pretty decent thing. I don't really care about any of the other attachments. We're probably not going to do anything with that. Yeah. We won't do anything with that, and we'll just create this. Let's see what we get. A balanced one. Instantly. A balanced one instantly. That is actually kind of perfect. So, yeah, I will be naming this. What are we going to name it? We're going to name it, I don't know. El Radil. I have no idea. I mean, you know the meaning of that, right? yeah, everyone knows Elvish. So yeah, anyway, we are going to obviously make sure that we can use this weapon to the best of its effect. So there it is. It's actually worse than our current weapon. How is it actually worse than our current weapon? That is hilarious. Wait a minute. Well, the weapon reach is the only thing that's different. So yeah, that's the thing that we're going to be using right there. Okay, so we may not be able to use this very well in a siege. That's the only thing. It has a bonus against shields though. Okay. Yeah, okay, I'm actually kind of liking it. Actually kind of liking this. Okay. Otherwise, I realized that what we would possibly want to do is maybe replace our banner. So I'm thinking, what about mounted movement speed? Yeah, so mounted movement speed change would probably be quite nice. Okay, yeah, so we've got huge amounts of Ereborian armor at the moment, and I would love to be able to do something a little bit different with that. Like, sell it off and then buy some rune armor, some really, really good rune armor and stuff like that. I did upgrade our companions off screen, by the way. At least the best that I could, because obviously I don't have that much rune armor itself. And Mr. Galik is going to face us. You know what? Shall we go? Let's go in for a battle. I would like to test out my new polearm. If it crashes, it crashes, and then I'll just have to reload it. But that's okay, because we just saved. So that's going to be all right. Ah, yes. Okay, yeah. This is another one of those bugs that has happened to me previously in the playthrough. I have no idea what causes. Oh yeah, I know what causes it. You should not attack anyone that's raiding a village. Okay, don't attack anyone that's raiding a village, because this is what happens. And you can see here, I cannot do anything. I cannot add units to our sites here, because it technically thinks that there's 0 on there, and you cannot. Yep, there you go. So there's the crash right there. So alright, so into a regular battle. It is not a defending the village thing. If you do the village defending thing, it's not really going to work out too well at the moment. Anyway, as you can see, we do have our new polearm, and hopefully it's going to work out really, really nicely for us. I am just going to charge straight on in here, because there is really no reason to use any kind of strategy as far as I can tell. Because these enemies really don't have anything that is going to be dramatically dangerous for us. And I am indeed distracting one wing of their cavalry. So it is making a big, big difference. Oh, look at the amount of damage. The amount of damage we could do is crazy. Look at that. That is really, really nice. Okay, so one thing we're going to be able to do here, though, is apart from the fact that we're doing insane amounts of damage with charge, we're also going to be, yes, look at that. Okay, pretty nice, pretty nice. I feel like the polearm is actually doing pretty nicely. I don't know, maybe the reach is going to come in mighty handy as we go here. Maybe it's going to be really, really nice for us. I don't know. Who knows? But we're going to try our best. And look, there's the chariot. There's the chariot right there. Obviously, don't look at it too closely, because it is still a work in progress. But yeah, it's very, very cool looking in the first place. It does need a little bit of work, but obviously, again, work in progress. You know, it's to be expected. And I just find it very, very cool that they've even added something like that, to be honest. I think that's going to be extremely fun when it's done. And otherwise, we also have an absolutely destructive force of allied units here, and they really don't have anything that can really stand up against us. Obviously, Mr. Galik, he licks a lot of gah. Yes, that's what he does. And indeed, we're done. We are absolutely 100% done here. And that's it. There you go. Nice victory for us. And obviously, here's the thing. The funny thing is, I'm also farming renown, you know? We're farming renown as much as we possibly can right now. And that is also a very nice way of us gaining some significant power. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to continue doing that. There we go. Okay, let's just leave everyone behind. I don't really care about them too much. And we are, well, I'm actually just very pleased that I'm able to get through a battle without crashing, to be honest. That's just really, really fun, to be honest. I don't know. Bannerlord's combat system. When I first initially started playing Bannerlord way back in 2020, when it first released into early access, I was pretty bad at it, because it had this weird, shall we say, weight to all of the actions, right? It had a lot of weight to their actions, and that is to be expected, of course, because they're trying to impart that feeling of you carrying this big weapon, you've got this big lumbering armor on and all that wonderful stuff, and that makes a huge difference to the overall feel. Now that I'm used to it, I am like, yes, this is great. This is absolutely, fun like nothing else. However, if you come straight from Warband, right? So, like, for example, if you've been playing Warband for years and years and years, like I'd played Warband at that point for 8 years, right? Oh, King Throne Duel, really? Okay. What's he doing here? What is he doing here? He's running around with basically no unit. I am actually, you know what? I want to fight this guy because I want to see exactly what the elves are capable of. I mean, yeah, according to the combat strength, we are far and away going to absolutely destroy this guy, but I would like to see what they're actually going to be capable of. I mean, they don't really have anything super amazing, so it's probably not going to be that much, but it would be fun nevertheless to try. Anyway, the point is, if you play Warband for a significant amount of time, the combat system is so dramatically different. It may seem exactly the same because obviously you do the same stuff. You know, you attack from the cardinal directions, you attack from left, right, up, down, etc., etc. You know, all that stuff. Very, very similar. Of course it is. It has to be. It has to be somewhat similar so that there's a little bit of, familiarity between the games. However, Warband obviously has a shall we say, it has a lighter feel. It has a lighter, more instantaneous feel than what you would see with Bannerlord. Because Bannerlord, of course, as I said, adds a whole bunch of weight to every single action you take in a combat scenario. So that's the reason why I was just really, really bad when I went into Bannerlord for the first time, because you have to get used to that weight. It feels well, it feels good now, don't get me wrong, it feels good now, but obviously when you're going from Warband and you're having this instantaneous, this light feeling weapon that, just comes out instantaneously and does damage, hopefully at least, and then you go over to Bannerlord and you're playing this game and it's like, oh, wait a minute, I have to actually time things now, right? I have to actually time things, I have to be a lot more active in analyzing when I'm actually going to attack, when I'm going to swing, when I'm going to do these things. And that makes a huge difference. But obviously, apart from the fact that Warband's system is so dramatically different, you do obviously have different balancing and, different weapons feel differently whenever you use them. And I'm talking mostly, of course, about the fact that thrown weapons specifically, as well as a number of ranged weapons as well, of course, because, bows are quite different, and, crossbows feel different too, of course, but primarily, thrown weapons feel really, really different in Bannerlord in comparison to Warband, and that's the reason why I absolutely love thrown weapons in Bannerlord, but really don't like them that much in Warband. I actually suck with using thrown weapons in Warband, and I have no idea why, because I've seen other people use them. I've talked to people that say that thrown weapons are fantastic in Warband, and I just asked them, how do you use them? How do you use them so well? And they just go, well, it's just all about the rhythm of the throw. You know what I mean? Like, you have to actually throw at a certain angle so that it actually flies through the air at a certain point and actually manages to connect with the enemy. And when you're obviously doing that in Bannerlord, it's completely different, because Bannerlord has that weight behind it, and I do feel as though the weight has a significant benefit to thrown weapons. They really make a huge difference. Like, it's not even funny how much of a difference thrown weapons are in comparison to Warband. Like, it really, I just trust me. Look at this. Okay, I tell you right now, if you go to Warband, right? You go to Warband, you just enable cheat mode. You go in, you just basically get yourself, some javelins or whatever. You level up your character in thrown weapon skill, and you try using thrown weapons in a battle, and you have, let's just say you have 150 or something like that, right? Just have 150 thrown weapons or something along those lines, and then you change to Bannerlord, and you use the same kind of high tier thrown weapons, right? So you use high tier thrown weapons like Chariots or harpoons or something along those lines, and you use those, and then you literally, you know, you see the difference. You feel the difference between the two games. It really is staggering how much of a difference it actually is. At least in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe it's different for other people. Anyway, 178 in the garrison here. I kind of feel like we could probably do that. Oh, hello. Wait a second. We have Thorin Stonehelm attempting to raid that village. Obviously, as we've seen, we can't really do anything in regards to raiding villages at the moment. So, or shall we say, defending the villages that are being raided. So what I will do is I will kind of just show my face a little bit here. And maybe we'll see what we can do about it. But enough about the combat systems in each game. We're going to go ahead and attempt to do something pretty cool here. We can maybe do something against this fellow. He has 124, doesn't he? Yes, he has 124. He is from Dale. And at the moment, I have not found these fellows to be that dangerous for us. I'm actually quite surprised that Rhun hasn't really done that much against Dale. Shall we say that aggressively? Like, yeah, sure, you know, they've been capturing their fiefs and things like that, and you know, that's what you'd expect them to do, but you're kind of expecting them to just sweep across them really easily at this point, because just look at how much we're able to do against them. Yeah, you know, we're clearly having the advantage. And, well, that's what we got to do, you know? That's what we got to do. We just got to... actually, you know what? Let me tell my forces to charge in here instead of me just randomly soloing them. That's probably not the best idea, right? Okay, yeah, so we can otherwise just do this and have an absolutely wonderful time. And the funny thing is, literally, me being able to, as you can see, by the way, my cooldown does actually... my cooldown does actually activate from the press of the button. You see that? Because that basically means that as soon as I press it, it's on for 8 seconds or 12 seconds or something like that. I don't even know how long it actually lasts, but generally it's going to be on for a significant amount of time, and then boom, we get it back. So it's actually pretty crazy, the uptime on this particular ability, because as I say, the cooldown does begin from when you press it. So yeah, pretty cool. I like that a great deal. And yeah, as you can see, the enemy can't even do anything to us. We've got such good armor on right now that we literally can just go straight on in here. And these guys obviously are just crossbowmen, so they don't even have anything super amazing for us. You know, like the melee skills that they have are going to leave a lot to be desired. They won't really be able to do too much about that. So there you go. That's indeed a victory for us. Look at that. Only one enemy remains, and that's a victory. And unfortunately, wow, these guys literally just... Wait a minute. Did they not? Huh. They did not charge. These guys did not charge for some reason. I'm actually not entirely sure why not, but okay. I guess that's fine. Let's just take him prisoner. I'm attempting to eliminate as many people off the board as we can, because then, of course, Rhun themselves can actually start doing some stuff. They can actually start running around and raiding villages with impunity and having a little bit of a better time in that regard. I mean, you can see here, look at this. We've got this vassal who's just kind of chilling, not really doing much at all in regards to defending the village, which is kind of unfortunate. Oh, wait a minute. We've just taken something. We just took Vorgavold. Where is that? Ah, over here. Ah, yes, of course. Okay, yes. It's because I believe Erebor took that a while ago, and we've now just taken it back. I guess that kind of makes sense. But if you take a look here, this is what we currently have. I don't actually know whether we're having any problems down here. Are we having any issues with people? No, that's Mordor. Okay, well, we don't have to worry about that. Let's see. No, that's canned, and Let's Rhun. Yeah, no. I think we're actually fine. Oh, wait a minute. Hello. Ah, I see. So Dale, wait a minute. They are actually encroaching on the southern territories of Rhun at the moment, which is quite interesting for us, because that does mean that they are being aggressive. Dale is actually being aggressive. They are coming to us and actually attempting to take things. Let's actually see. Okay, yes, they did take back Eldby. That is to be expected, of course. And obviously, yeah, Castle E9, which doesn't yet have a name, that is also having a bit of a problem there. But, oh well, never mind. Okay, yeah, well, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait until this village has been raided, unfortunately. I don't really want to wait until it's been raided, but, you know, that's just how things are going to have to be at the moment. And let's do a little bit of a voting for this guy, get some nice relation with him. It's always going to be somewhat useful later down the line. And we'll see when this guy finishes his business. You know, it's actually kind of crazy how many trade goods you manage to get just attacking random people every now and again, because obviously these guys, they're also going to be, you know, attacking caravans and, you know, doing things like that. And it's actually insane how much, I mean, look at how much flax I'm getting right here. I literally have traded, let me see, what can I see here? Yeah, this is what I've traded. Look at this. Loads and loads of iron ore, silver ore, raw silk, cows, clay, etc. Just massive amounts of it. And indeed, we are getting 15,000 just from that. You can also sell this. That's pretty nice. Okay, so we are going to be making our way over. I'd like to go over here actually and sell some more stuff. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to just restore ourselves a little bit. I actually went into an auto-resolve against Mr. Thorin Stonehelm. It was damaging. We actually ended up losing about 25 troops, which does now mean that we need to do a little bit of re-recruiting, but that just means that I need to go to Rhun territory for that, and that's okay. I don't really need to worry about that too much. So what we're going to do is do this. We're going to sell low-value stuff. Apply this bulk action. Yes, there we go. Because what I want to do is I want to try to get rid of as much weight as I possibly can. So selling low-value stuff that is less than 100 dinars is extremely, extremely useful. That's also the reason why I really appreciate them adding these new quality of life improvements to the looting system. It makes a huge difference to us. Especially consider, I mean, to be fair, it makes a huge difference to pretty much everyone, because whenever you're going into a battle in Bannerlord, you're always going to be getting these really, really low level stuff, and it's just going to clutter your inventory with a massive amount of weight. And now I don't even have that weight, and now I'm just flying along here absolutely without a care in the world. Really, really nice. Okay, so let's see what we could do here. I'm going to increase relationship with notables. No, I'm just not gonna do anything with that, to be honest. Okay, so let's take a look and actually see how much they even have here. Yeah, so we're gonna just take a look at their armor as well, because maybe there's gonna be some amazing armor here that's slightly better than what we have. No, there isn't. Okay, that's kind of unfortunate. But what we are gonna do is we're going to get some good armor for these guys, right? We're going to get some really, really good armor for these guys. So I'm literally just going to spend 218,000, going to get him a good helmet as well, and that's pretty much it. I'm not going to bother getting him better boots or you know, shoulders or anything like that, because we're already spending a huge amount of money. Yeah, so apart from that, we will also give Mr. Grandthar some better stuff. So let's get him some of this. Let's get him that. And we also want to get him some... is he a riding skill guy? Is he actually a riding skill guy or no? No, he's not actually a riding skill guy, but we do want to get him a shield. So let's get him a really, really heavy tower shield, I guess. He can probably, hopefully he can use that appropriately because he's not on a mount. Yeah, at least I hope so. And he needs a weapon, obviously, so we'll probably give him a one-handed mace. There you go. Absolutely perfect. Now he's looking great, right? Now he's looking great. So what we're going to do is we're then going to just sell everything that we can. Wow. Yeah, I'm still paying 184,000 for all of that stuff, despite the fact that I've sold everything, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's okay, because we can actually sell all of our thrown weapons as well. There we go. We're only paying 88,000. And then technically I can also sell a lot of my weapons. I don't think I'm going to do that, though. I think what I will do... where is my... Where's my spear? Or where's my polearm that I actually made? Ah, there it is. Yes, 34,000. So I can actually sell that for 34,000, which is really, really nice. And indeed, look at that. There we go. So we only paid 53,000 for an insane upgrade for every single one of our companions, apart from one of them. Obviously, I didn't really do much for the one guy, but that's okay. He doesn't mind. He doesn't mind right now. And I could start increasing my bow skill, but I'm not entirely sure if we're actually going to end up doing that at any point. But, you know, it's available if we want to. Okay, so did I just sell all of my... I think the filter... Wait a minute. Yes, I did actually do that. The filter sold my smithing. Okay. Well, actually, it's not even bad. It's not even a bad idea, to be honest, because we were very over encumbered by all of that smithing stuff. I could actually just get it back really, really quickly anyway, but yeah. Oh well, never mind. That is quite funny. All right, yeah. So watch out for that. Watch out for the selling stuff. You know, for the for the filters and things like that. Despite the fact that I do really appreciate it, apparently it does have some slight issues with selling of things. Unless I did it wrong. I probably did it wrong. Anyway, I'm going to do a little bit more here because I obviously do have the ability to smelt some more stuff, as you can see. And we're just going to do that. I'm going to do that off screen. And I'm going to try to get back a little bit just so that I can continue to smith some things, just so that I can sell them for a little bit of extra cash injection, despite the fact that I don't really need it. But I think we'll probably get around 350,000 or something like that, and then we'll be all okay. Yeah, otherwise, if you would like to check out the mod, there is a link in the description. There's a link in the description to their Patreon as well, so if you want to become a supporter, then you can obviously do that. If you don't want to, then that's fine. There is a public version available, and that was actually very, very fun to play as well. And I've got a whole bunch of series on that too, so if you'd like to check those out, there are playlists in the description. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.